Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Ruth.
And this month is
Love
Love
Month.
Month. So we wanted to kind of talk to you about that and love and stuff like that. Ruth found some things that she
It's
wanted to share.
some really good information. We all talk about love. You hang up the phone, you say, love ya, stuff like that. But what does love really mean? What does it mean to you? And how do you express that love? And so we thought we would just go into that a little bit today.
And the information we found said that there are 5 love languages.
You bet. And a lot of
Oh
you
my
have
goodness.
probably read the book by, who is it? Gary Chapman, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it wrong. Gary Chapman, about the love languages. And of course, it goes into great detail about what they are. But we thought we'd just give you a brief overview today and then challenge you to think about what your love language is and how you can share it with your family and your sweetheart over the next few days.
And you're going to be talking about it at Aldersgate tomorrow with a
Yes.
group of people.
Mm-hmm. At our support group, we'll have a discussion and just have a really good conversation about what love is.
And I know most of us guys, we don't get that love stuff. The ladies do. And so they understand all of this. So, I try to learn from Ruth and love. And, one of the first things is what does love mean? And the thing is love languages are the different ways that people express and they receive love. And that concept, like you said, was brought about by Dr. Gary Chapman in his book, The 5 Love Languages. Go ahead.
And I think, he's a counselor. And so he sees a lot of couples, I'm sure, who come in or has seen a lot of couples that come into his office and they love each other, but they are not communicating. And maybe that's a problem that you have. Maybe your communication has kind of fallen by the wayside. And that's because you're talking in different languages.
And it's not because you don't love each other, you don't care about each other. It's just you're saying the same thing in a different language. It's like, Spanish and English. You're both saying the same thing, but you're in 2 different languages, so you don't understand what the other person is doing. They may be expressing as much love as you do.
And as they know how.
Right.
And I know one of the love languages is giving and receiving gifts. And I know someone who absolutely inundates with gifts. And it's like, okay, thank you, and I love gifts. Of course, I'm a girl and I'm human and I love gifts, but that's not my love language.
And the thing is we sometimes feel obligated to give them what they gave us.
Sure.
And balance the score, but that's not what it's about.
Right.
People that give and receive gifts, that's the way they want to show their love. They're not giving you something because they want something in return.
Right. It's just their love language. So let's talk about what are the love languages.
Okay, there's 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, which Ruth just talked about, quality time, not sitting there and me watching the football game and her sitting there with me.
Yes.
I mean, actually sitting down and being a couple. And the other one, physical touch.
Ooh, I like physical touch.
So words of affirmation, that's pretty much expressing love through verbal encouragement, appreciation, and kind words. It doesn't take a whole lot to say, wow, this was a great breakfast, or
you look really nice today.
Yeah, or you're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang in there. And sometimes that's all people need to hear, is that everything's going to be all right. Because from their point of view, the world may be falling apart.
Exactly. And they just need somebody to pray with them, to encourage them, and be there for them, not, fix the problem, but yet just support them as they go through the problem.
And acts of service, it's not just saying things, but it's actually doing something for someone. Maybe cooking a meal for somebody you haven't cooked a meal for, or if you know of an elderly person, maybe somebody's just gotten out of the hospital, or you know that they're going in the hospital, and what is their loved one doing?
Right. Are they going hungry or going through McDonald's to grab a burger on the way to the hospital? And, just a little secret that I figured out. I'm not the greatest cook in the world. I admit it. But you know what? A lot of the grocery stores now have wonderful prepared meals that are not that expensive, and they put them on sale, different ones all the time. And you can swing by your local grocery store, by the usually in the deli, and pick up a couple of prepared meals, takeout,
Yep.
and take it to them.
Running errands for someone, that's another act of service.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe helping them with the chores.
Mm-hmm. Babysitting. If you don't have children and you don't have a loved one that you want to go on a date with on Valentine's Day, how about a young couple? Watch their kids so that they can go out.
Yep. Receiving gifts, giving and receiving meaningful gifts are a way of expressing love. And it doesn't have to be a whole lot. How about a note?
How about something that Mike and I have been doing this Valentine's Day? Every day we find something, and for me, I've been putting little hearts that say I love you because, and then trying to list out some of the different ways that I love him because of the different things that he does for me and makes me smile and all of that stuff. And he's been putting out little adorable stuffed animals and candy and hearts and all kinds of fun things like that. We've been tucking them under each other's pillows and putting them on the breakfast table. And it's been so much fun.
Yeah. And like you said, I love you because sometimes we have to look at that. And sometimes we don't feel loved. But this is one of the languages that we can use. And you may find something with your significant other, with your spouse, that there's something that they really like. Maybe just a handwritten note and they're like, wow, thank you.
Or what a way to start your kid's day. If they come downstairs and there's a heart on their cereal bowl that says, I love you because, or have a great day, or whatever you write on there.
Number 4, quality time. And this is feeling love through undivided attention. Spending time, not reading the newspaper, not reading a book with your loved one. Undivided attention, sitting in the same space together. We do that a lot.
For me, that I believe is my love language. I can be busy. I love to work. I love to get things off my to-do list. But when we're going to spend time together, I like it to be quality, not just sit and watch a movie, or like Mike said at the beginning, he flips through his phone or is watching a football game and I'm sitting there with him. So it's like
you're all by yourself.
Yeah, well, and it's like setting aside that quality time. And now that it's winter, it's a little harder, but in the summertime, we spend a lot of time sitting out on the patio or the deck, and we may not be doing anything or even talking, but we're just enjoying nature and enjoying each other.
Well, and the other thing is, and I know, guys, brace yourself, deep conversations. I mean, not, hey, how you doing? How was your day? But, that's a good start. But then where do you go from there?
And also paying attention. When you ask, how was your day? Mean it and listen. It may have been a great day or it may have been a not so great day. But don't just throw it out like we do love ya as just another thing that we say.
Well, and the other thing is like Ruth said, look at their reactions and listen to what they say. How was your day? Fine.
Oh, there's the
That is not a deep conversation. So how did things go at the grocery store? Great. That is not deep. That's what, okay, so you had a good time at the grocery store. Now I'm going to go back to texting or whatever. That was, no, a deep conversation. How was your day? How was your morning? Who did you see? What did you talk about? All of those kind of things that go a few levels deeper. And, even with your kids, what I used to do with mine, you can tell we're not spring chickens. All of our kids are grown. But what I used to do with ours is sit down and, so how was your day? It was fine. Okay, how was your math class? It was fine. What did you learn in your math? Keep getting deeper and deeper until finally you will have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The very last one, physical touch. Okay, guys, I know.
Like that one.
Expressing love through a physical connection and affection. Not just, oh, baby. I mean, be affectionate, guys.
Well, and the reality is when you get older, I mean, even at our age,
Yep.
and or widowers, people that live alone, how often do they get a hug?
Yep.
How often does somebody touch them in a loving way? The doctor may grab their arm to shove a shot needle in it, but what's that loving touch that we can give to someone? Just a pat on the shoulder, or
holding hands.
Yeah.
Cuddling. I know, guys, that the C word, but cuddling, or even a pat on the back. Wow.
Right.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Physical closeness, what it does a lot of times, it reassures people, reassures them of love and security, and that everything is okay, and that person is there for them. Guys, when was the last time you hugged your significant other? I mean, hugged them, not, oh, okay, go on to my next thing.
Or a little on the way out the door.
Yeah, rather than look them in the eyes. Spend time looking at them, actually spending time.
Yes.
So the reason love languages matter, they help you understand how you and your loved ones best give and receive love. When you write a note, what was the other person's reaction? Maybe notes isn't the love language that they understand.
You bet.
And love languages, they help improve communication, and it helps alleviate misunderstandings in relationships. And language isn't a language until you do it, until you speak it, until you put it out there. And when you do, it helps you understand your significant other at a different level.
Mm-hmm. Your significant other, but your children, your parents, all those people in your life that you're trying to communicate with.
And also what it does is it strengthens that bond between you and the other person. And, when you're speaking their love language, it resonates with them. And it shows that you care and that you love them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
our challenge, go ahead.
Nope.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
You go.
I was just going to say our challenge to you for this week, and hopefully from this week it stems into a longer period of time, but is really think about your love language. And if you need more information on this, just Google it. And there's you can find the love languages, or check at your library for Gary Chapman's book and read it. But figure out what your love language is, and then what your loved one's love language is, and then use it to really try to develop a deeper communication and relationship.
Well, and the other thing is once you understand what your love language is, and you have the deep conversations, share that with your loved one. Let them know what your love language is, and find out what their love language is.
You bet. And when they do something nice, say, hey, thank you. I really like it when we have these conversations or when we spend time together, or you bring me home little surprises, whatever it is.
Yep. Compliment them. That is a huge love language, and compliments go a long way.
Throughout all 5 of these languages, yeah.
Yep. So we're going to let you go. Get out there and love. Get out there and have good relationships. We've talked about the 5 love languages. Put them to work, guys.
And girls.
Yeah, and girls. You take care. I'm Mike.
I'm Ruth.
Bye.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.